Hey guys, welcome to AndroGuider. So in this video, review the Toxic OS ROM, and the build version is 1.0.1, and this ROM is based on Android Marshmallow 6.0.1, as you can see, and it also packs in the June 1 security patch. The build date is 4th of July. Next status is enforcing by default. Um, so as you can see that this ROM is based on CM13, and I'll just give you quick setting tiles which we get with the ROM. So these are the tiles which are enabled by default, and these are the tiles which we can add. And then if you want to show the weather in the extended header region, then you have to check the first option in, and uh, then you can also show hide the brightness slider icon, enlarge first row, and the tri-state location. Everything else is present here, and at the bottom you can reset the room to the default layout. So as this ROM is based on CM13, you get the stock CM13 launcher in. So at the top we have the home screen settings. You can show or hide the search bar, the icon labels, scroll wallpaper, and these are the grid sizes which we have: comfortable, cozy, condensed, and custom. So this is the comfortable one, and this is the cozy one, this is the condensed one. Also, as you can see that the home screen, all the widgets and the icons on the home screen are shrinking. So you can even have a custom layout as per your choice, but I will prefer to have a comfortable one. Then next up, you can allow the rotation of the home screen if you want to. Then we have the app drawer settings. You can show the icon labels, and then we have the drawer style. This is the sections one, in which the apps are sorted by their alphabetical order. And then we have the compact one, in which all the apps are present in a single page layout. And then next up we have the drawer color. This is the dark one. So as you can see that the app background is translucent, and the light one, the app drawer background is similar to the similar to the app drawer background of the Google Now launcher. Then you have the fast scroller type, horizontal or vertical. You can show or hide the search bar in the app drawer too, larger icon, and the protected apps. Then these are the apps which we get: audio effects, browser, file manager. You have the Apollo music player too, sound recorder, screencast, everything else. And these are the wallpapers which we get in with the ROM. And so nothing new in here. And these are the live wallpapers which we have. We only have photo phase here. So now we'll have a look at if there are any ROM specific widgets which we get. So by default we only have the power control, through which you can quickly toggle on or off the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, airplane mode, sync, and auto brightness. Now we get into toxic settings. So first of all we have the drill one. So if you want to if you experience any issue with the ROM, then you have to take a log cat and report it back to the developers, and just make sure that you are not running any custom kernel or you have installed exposed, because those kind of if you are facing any bugs in the ROM with the and you are using custom kernel and have exposed installed, then your issues would not be entertained by the developers. And then next up you have the system app remover. So just make sure that if you want to play around with the system app remover, just make sure that you take a backup, an Android backup of of the ROM, and then play around with this stuff. Or if you know what you are doing, then you can go ahead. Then next up we have the status bar settings. So you can using this option you can choose to show or hide the which icons should be there in the status bar or not. Suppose at the moment you can see that the Wi-Fi icon is just beside the network signals icon. Now when I just check that off, the Wi-Fi icon goes away, and when I check that back in, it reappears. Then we have the clock style, which is nothing but the position of the clock, right, center, left, or hidden. Then we have the AM/PM style. I'll just show both the normal and the small styles to you, so you can have a look in at the top right corner of the screen. This is the normal one, and this is the small one. Then we have the various battery icon styles: portrait, landscape, circle, text, or hidden. So quickly, just I will let you guys have a look at the various battery icon styles. This is the landscape one, this is the circle one, this is the text one, or you can just hide it. Then we have the brightness control, or if you are selecting the circle one or any one of the top 3 icon styles, then you can show the battery percentage either inside to the icon or next to the icon, or just hide it. And then we have the brightness control, notification count, quick pull down, and the network traffic settings are here too. So you can show either the outgoing or the incoming, or both the incoming and the outgoing data exchange rates. Then you have the display unit, bits per second or bytes per second, update interval, auto hide, and the inactivity threshold. So that's all what we have in the toxic OS settings. Next up we go to sounds. So these are the options which we have in other sounds: dial pad tone, screen locking sounds, touch sounds, volume adjustment sounds, charging sounds. That's all what we have in here. Then we have the display and light settings, brightness level, adaptive brightness, live display, rotation settings, double tap to sleep is here too. Then you have the sleep timeout, wake on plug, wallpaper, expanded desktop. You can configure your LCD density here. So we only have a limited options from which we can choose from. Then we have the daydream, font size, and if you want to show the search bar in the recents menu. Then we have the themes and notification settings, nothing new in here. Lock screen settings. So we have the lock screen type, live lock screen message, lock screen shortcuts. So from here you can customize the bottom lock screen shortcuts. Then we have the display music, visualizers, show weather, so you can check that option into. And then at the bottom you can choose from the, if you want to have a wallpaper on your lock screen which is different from that of your launcher, then you can just configure in this setting. Then next up we have the hardware key settings. So you can customize the backlight time of the hardware keys. Then we have the left-handed mode, show arrow keys while typing if you want to have that. Then we have the buttons and layout, and these are the options which we have. So this is pretty basic, and then you can customize the various actions as per your choice. Just restore to default. Then we have the power menu, and these are the options which we have in the power menu. Ample number of options here. So this is how the power menu looks like. You have power off, reboot. I think advanced reboot would be there down in developer options. Then we have the screenshot, airplane mode, and at the bottom we have the sound panel. Then you can press the power button to cut the call, press the power button twice to launch the camera without unlocking your screen. Then we have the home button settings, the back button settings, menu button settings, search button settings. Then we have the volume buttons settings in the bottom, wake up device, playback control, control the ringtone volume instead of the notification one, and then the keyboard cursor control, and reorient the volume keys when the device is rotated. So all this is present here. And then we have the battery settings, so the maximum percentage at which The battery saver can be enabled is 15%. Then we have the security settings. Unknown sources is not checked in by default, so you make sure that you check in if you plan to sideload any apps from your SD card. That's all what we have in the security settings. We also have system profiles, privacy. So from here you have the privacy guard, block caller list, protected apps. So the major advantage of using privacy guard is that you can quickly so I have also covered this up in my previous videos, but I'll just make a give you a quick go through of what privacy guard is all about. So using this you can enable or disable various permissions of the apps. This is more fine-tuned than the stock permission system which we have in Android Marshmallow. So if you want to enable or disable any apps which start up which start up automatically when your phone boots up, then you can do all that stuff in here. But again, make sure that you have to be safe to enable or disable these permissions. Suppose you just can't disable the messaging one and audio effects. So these apps shouldn't be disabled by default. And the phone call management, setting, storage. So all these apps have to be started when your phone boots up. So just ensure that you are playing around. If you are playing around, then you have a backup at your hand, so if anything goes wrong you can always restore your device from the backup. But say the file manager, this is one of those apps which can be disabled on boot, or if you are using any separate launcher than Trebuchet, then you can also disable this. And so if you want to just disable any app which starts on boot, just check off this option. And I'll just check that back in because this is the only launcher which I have installed at the moment. And then you can configure other settings too. Suppose the location settings. If you don't want the browser to keep your device awake, then again you can use this option to disable that. So if the browser keeps your device awake, it means that it has certain wake locks which won't let your phone to go into the deep sleep mode, and that would lead to loss in the battery. So if you don't want that to happen, then you can just check this location in or off, check this setting. Then the course location, or allowed, ignored, or always ask. So you can do that as per your choice. And there's a difference between course location and find location. Course location is the one which which your network operator sends in. It's an estimated location as per the network tower. It is a location which estimated location, as I've told you, which is estimated using the network tower through which your phone is getting the network signals in at the moment. So if you want to disable or enable this permission, then you can always do that. Then there are multiple settings which you can choose from. Personal settings, read contacts or write contacts, you can just do that. So as I told you that this permission system is a bit more advanced than the stock permission system which we have in Android Marshmallow. So you do have some extra options here. So just make sure that if you want to use it, then you use it carefully and you have a backup at your hands if in case anything goes wrong. Then you can also enable or disable those apps which can't have access to your private data, such as contacts, call logs, personal messages, all that stuff. So if I just check in any app, say audio effects, then it won't be able to access any personal data, which I've already told you is contacts, and stuff like that. Then block caller list is pretty clear. Protected apps is also clear by the name itself. and then the developer options are not enabled by default, so you need to tap on the build number 7 times to enable them, and they would be just be there above about phone. And as I told you, we had the advanced root option in here. You also have the root access option in here too, and it is not enabled by default. So if you want to enable root access, then you have to do that under developer options. Android debugging also not checked in by default, so just to be on the safer side of things, make sure you do that. We have the animation settings here, the multi-window mode, and then at the bottom we have the kill app back button. So guys, that's all what I think we have in the ROM. I guess that I have covered up everything. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. If you like the video, then do hit that thumbs up button, and if you want to watch more videos from my end, then make sure you subscribe to my channel as well. Thanks for watching guys, and have a nice day.